What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again, and hopefully you guys are doing good today. We've got the chat up. Hopefully you guys are there. We are live, and hopefully you guys are able to make it here. Give me 1 second. We're going to get things moving here. Yeah, guys, definitely let me know where you guys are from. I'd love to hear where you're from. Give me 1 second. All right. So hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Dude, what's up, Roberto? Glad to have you here, man. Glad that you're here for tonight for this live kind of a show here. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy that. Enjoy it with me here. See here, Lewis says, yeah, I thought this was going to start late. Well, I'm slowly working on things and trying to figure out how it all goes. It's interesting. There's a lot of videos and a lot of people out there that will show you how to set up OBS, and but not a lot of stuff out there that when you actually are running it, how all that works and how all that's going to come out. So it's really interesting sometimes with that. Roberto, Vero Beach, glad to have you here, man. Hopefully everyone's doing all right out there. It is a crazy world we live in. This is definitely going to be one of those times that we're going to look back on, and it's just really interesting times. I can at least say that, and I don't know about you guys out there, but for me, it has been really interesting. I didn't realize just how much I paid attention to sports, how much my life revolved around sports, and how much I was that much into sports. When sports went away, I found a lot more time on my hands. So Roberto, we'll definitely get into Tom Brady and that, and I'll probably be doing a video about that. I'm going to start doing some NFL videos. I don't know any of you guys out there watching. We got 6 people watching right now. Let me know where you're from, and definitely that would be kind of cool to see where all over the globe everybody's at and that. And I know some of you guys, it's a hard time for you, to come and hit the live stream. But this week, I promise I will have the live stream up for everybody so that it's not something that you're gonna miss. Last week, I apologize with the way that the streams ended up being and the way that it turned out. I accidentally wasn't able to keep it up. So this week, it'll be up. It'll be there for you with that. So if you don't get a chance to watch it right now, you can watch it later. But yeah, there's a lot of NFL stuff that's coming out today. And we're on the eve of free agency starting, so it makes a lot of sense. But it just, my initial thoughts with it is just kind of one of those things to where the NFL's starting to get to be a little bit like the NBA. I'm starting to see it go in that trend, which usually the NFL has been, very traditionally, very loyalistic and that type of an approach. And, we're starting to see some guys move, and really a lot of it has to do with franchises, though. Franchises are moving on from guys. And so guys are trying to find new homes, whether it be, I heard Phillip Rivers possibly going to Indianapolis, Teddy Bridgewater in Carolina, and Carolina, pretty much just letting Cam Newton know that they don't want him anymore, and then trying to let the public know that it wasn't really them, that it was him. Trying to, pull a whole, PR thing. So it's crazy. See what else we got going on. Let's see here. Lewis Reese, man, you should become a coach. The DC Defenders Yeah, I don't know about that. They just listen. Cardell just needed to get his head back on straight. If you watch those games, you know that Jackson. I mean, he did what he needed to do, but he didn't have command of that offense. He really didn't know the offense in and out, and he made the best of what he did, and he did a good job. But Cardell really knew that offense. The problem was he kept trying to throw the ball and make a play when there wasn't a play there. If he just would have lived to play another day on those downs, they would have been fine. But what happened was they just compounded, and he just kept throwing interceptions, and that's what happens when you do that, and that's why they say that you do that. Let's see here. Midas 013. Hola, I'm good watching from the hospital. No, not the virus. Hip replacement. Ow, man. Yeah, quick recoveries. And my prayers go out to you, especially with everything that is going around right now, because you are much more susceptible to that. So Midas, yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, actually, if you don't mind, I know that some of you guys don't like, you might not be, spiritual people or whatever, but if you're okay, let me know in the comment section. I'll go ahead and I wouldn't mind praying for you in a quick recovery. So if you let me know down in the comments, I will definitely, in this chat, in this whole live stream, I'll pray for you if you don't mind, especially for that hip of yours. You can get back on your feet quickly, and that you don't have any complications with that. Glad to have you here, though. Let's see what else we got. Roberto, yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. So Lewis. Yeah, man. I've been pulling out the old football games. I've been pulling out. Let's see here. I was playing some all-pro football the other night, and it was kind of funny. Like, I just made up some team, and I was like Warren Moon, and I made up like a Dallas Renegades type team, and I would just pretty much all I did was run the air raid offense, and it was really hard to run the air raid offense in all-pro football, but it actually worked out really well. I had Warren Moon and Barry Sanders, and then I think I had Pearson and Rocket Ishmael on the outsides with the guys, and yeah, I just flung the ball around, and then I gave the ball to Barry Sanders. Yeah, and I can't remember who. I think it was Emmitt Smith on the other team, and it might have been Dan Marino. Maybe. I don't know. I ended up beating them fairly soundly. I think it was like something. I forgot how to kick in the game, so it was like something like, what was it, like 36 or something. It was like 36 to 14. But yeah, it was, dude. I'm totally agree with you. Yeah, broadcast basketball. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, that's rough. Dude, and broadcast basketball. I owe you an email, and dude, man, I apologize. I've every day since Thursday, I've been getting out of work like 2 hours late, and so like my time that I usually, it's just been pushed back. But I don't have a whole lot to do. But I'd love to. I need to get back to you with that stuff. Overpower. Brady to the Guardians. Yes, Tommy, I agree with you. There you go. Have the GOAT in the league, and that'll definitely do it for it. I don't know if McMahon has the money if he really wants to. He could shell out whatever Brady wants, like $65 million for 2 years, or 70 mil. He could do that and get the GOAT. Amador Valentin, thank you very much, man. I appreciate all you guys here, and I appreciate the love that you give me. And man, if you got a question or you got a video that you want, dude, shoot it out to me, please, because you've been just an avid supporter of this channel and everything, so definitely hit me up with that. All right, Midas, thanks. I'm good with going home tomorrow. Speaking about Barry Sanders, I found 2 of his rookie cards the other day going through a lot of old cards. Sweet, man. I actually have I don't have any Barry Sanders rookie cards, but I do have Emmitt Smith. I've got 2 Emmitt Smiths. I've got 2 Shaquille O'Neals, and I've got a bunch of Emmitt Smith. I've got a bunch of like early 90s, late 80s, 90s trading cards, sports cards, and that but those are like the ones that I have. I got a lot of Jordans too and stuff, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, If you don't mind, Midas, I'd just like to go ahead and pray with you. And, all that you guys want to pray along, I appreciate that. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just want to just lift up Midas right now. It looks like he's going to be getting out of the hospital tomorrow, which is pretty awesome. But, God, I just, in this crazy world that we live in right now, I just want to just, Lord, just send your angels around him and just be with him and his family as he continues to recover. And, Lord, just give him the strength to go on with life and to just continue to enjoy it and just hedge him, with health and just keep what's going on in this world just kind of away from him, God. And Lord, we just thank you for all that you've done for him so far and look forward to his quick recovery in the future. Thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, so thanks for letting me do that, Midas. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Roberto, WWE is going to have WrestleMania live from the Performance Center on April 5th. No crowds due to the virus. So, I don't know. One of my coworkers, he's a huge wrestling fan, and I haven't been watching WWE. I've been hitting the tapings of the All Elite Wrestling, so I've been watching it. I tape it and then I watch it later, and so but I have not been keeping up with the with WWE. But he was just like, man, it's bad. He was just telling me that the way that they're doing it with no fans and all this stuff is just it's not good. So they were already not putting a good product on, and so now they are. So if you guys are WWE fans or if you're just wrestling fans and you've been watching WWE, let me know down in the comments section what you think of it. Luis, it said message held. Hold on. Lewis, I don't know what you got going on here. Amen. Yeah, AEW. Dillard. That's what I've been watching. Okay, so Roberto, you're watching both. Let me know, man, what you think. If I get some, if you guys recommend it, I'll go back to WWE. It just, I don't know what it was. They just kind of turned me off, and I think the last straw was, so I had the WWE Network, and I would buy the little gift cards. I wasn't going to give them my credit card information for that, and so I would just buy 3 months at a time, and they lost me. Whenever it was the Hell in the Cell, I think it was, where they did the whole match in red, and then Seth Rollins just kind of continued to beat the snot out of The Fiend, and then they did that whole thing at the end. It was bad, and then they just lost me after that. I just kind of fumbled through things here and there, and I see, I'll look at the, results and stuff on the wrestling websites, but that's pretty much about it. Let's see here. Okay. Where are we at? Dillard, I don't recommend WWE at all. Yeah, Amador Valentin, yeah, definitely. I think you guys should get a little bit more love there in New Jersey, because you guys do. It's you guys always, everything in your region's always New York. And, thankfully, it's funny though, how the big city in the region will overtake the region. That a lot of times, for instance, in Ohio, Dayton doesn't get a whole lot of love a lot of times, and Dayton just gets lumped in with Cincinnati, but they got their own thing. And speaking of that Dayton team, man, that's really stinks for them. They were doing really, really good this year. I was looking forward to seeing how well they did in the tourney. Their men's basketball team. But yeah, that again, it's sad for everybody involved. But I guess I understand. I mean, when you start realizing, and sitting down and looking at this could be the difference between somebody's life and, them being alive or dead. It really puts things into perspective. And, so throw your stuff aside, when you're talking about this whole thing with that. But, I heard a rumor that Atlanta and Chicago will be teams next year. Yeah, that was a really neat one. Let me know, in the comments, what you guys are thinking of them. I thought that, so both of them for me were kind of it was I get it. They make sense. They're both probably really good choices, but for me personally, I was really not hoping for either one of them. I'm not a big Chicago guy. Chicago's okay. I'm fine with the Bears. With that type of a thing, it's not against it. My one brother-in-law is a huge Bears fan. So I don't mind when the Bears win, especially for him. But Atlanta, I'm not an Atlanta fan at all. I don't really like anything Atlanta and that. Not that I have anything against Atlanta. Though Atlanta, if you ever drive through, is terrible to drive through. It doesn't matter when you drive through. I mean, we've tried to drive through there late at night, and that to try to get to Florida, and that it just you just can't get out of Atlanta. But besides that, I was hoping. Look, those two cities are two cities that when you look at it they're both big markets. Right now, like I've said this many times, and it's hard for some people to understand, and I don't mean you guys. You guys are here with me all the time. But the XFL is really looking for big markets where they've got a lot of people in a large area where they can go through and they can really build a fan base from the ground up. And so when you start getting into some of these communities, now granted, I know that some people are high on San Antonio, and San Antonio I think would have been a really good place for them. The problem was when they started planning and when they had all the cities in order, the AAF was already started up and doing their thing, and they didn't really want to mess with the AAF. They didn't want to be in the same town as the AAF, and so a lot of those cities got looked over. Birmingham, Orlando, all of the cities. San Diego, Salt Lake. All of those cities got looked over. But the other thing with it is that they're not large markets. When I'm talking about large markets, I'm talking about your huge market areas. You're talking about and Chicago's one of the largest cities, and Atlanta's one of the largest cities. So those two cities make sense to be the next two teams that they add in. They just do. Now, how they align everything is going to be really interesting. And who knows? Listen, they could pull an NFL. The NFL has had things all over the board. I mean, if you remember, Arizona Cardinals used to be with my Dallas Cowboys and the NFC East. It just, they do things like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did have Chicago and Chicago was part of the West, and have it that way. And I could see them, shifting it up and doing that around too. What do I think of the two cities? Now, getting to my personal opinions of the two cities. Neither one I feel really, great about. I would love to have a team in Ohio. And I think that there are probably others of you that you're looking at your state and thinking, listen, we really could, definitely take a team and we would support the team. And it looks like they've definitely done a really good job with the research. I mean, the cities that they picked for a reason. And they've had a hard time in LA and they've had a hard time in New York. And the thing about New York is, and everybody keeps, they need to move to a smaller venue. I totally agree with that. I am not against you guys with that. But for some reason, there seems to be something, and I can't remember. It was like there was a tweet or something that Oliver Luck, or there was an interview that Oliver Luck did, and I don't remember, with it, that he said something about that they've got some ties or something to MetLife that was keeping them or having them in MetLife, that they might, though, change and look at a different venue. I think New York, they didn't do too bad when it came to fans. LA had a hard time, and I think they just want to be in that LA market. I don't think it really has a whole lot to do with them. They want to be in that big market. Now, whether or not they'll move the team or not, I don't know. We'll see what happens. When the Raiders leave, that'll be an interesting thing. Because they're going to be in Las Vegas next year. And then, San Diego's definitely something, and they might look at San Diego. I could see them looking at San Diego now that the AAF's not there. But I don't really see them. Right now, they're more worried about not moving teams, but really building fan bases for these teams. And for them to, again, they're trying to build some stability here in the XFL. And moving teams around is not showing stability. That's showing instability. And so for them to sit there in LA, grow the team in LA, they've got a decent team, and we'll see where they go. I don't know. And that's another thing, too. We're going to have to figure out how this whole thing with the players turn out. Let me get back to the chat here. It said, let's see here. Lewis Reese, all schools got canceled, so all kids are in the streets doing bad stuff or maybe just staying in their house and probably the first. Yeah, what a lot of the schools around me have done is they use those extra couple days that they gave them to really set up some schooling for them outside of school and to do some online stuff and things like that, which I think will be good for these kids. But I totally agree with you. I mean, we have, it's crazy kind of what we've got going on right now. I mean, this is unprecedented what we've created, the run on the stores. People can't find toilet paper. You can't buy toilet paper right now. I mean, it just people are, now starting to get laid off in places because, unfortunately, the people who are hardworking people working many jobs to make ends meet, they're the ones who are getting laid off first, and the part-timers are getting cut. And I mean, yeah, it is a crazy time, and I do agree with you. I mean, you're probably going to see an uptick in some of that stuff here now, which is sad. We'll see as things progress. I mean, it's something new every day. The last 2 weeks, I mean, I thought I was going to get a break coming back from the Arnold, and everything has just escalated since the Arnold, to where it's just been a whirlwind, to where it feels like the Arnold was months ago, when really in all reality it was it'll be 2 weeks this Sunday, so it's kind of crazy. Well, right now there are no sporting events going on right now, so they can do and keep giving the fans something to watch. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, I've been getting into like sports simulation video games. I mean, I even find myself sometimes on YouTube just watching other guys play games. That with it. If you guys are interested in me maybe starting up some channels, stuff with that, let me know. I was thinking about doing, and let me know if you think this is cool, and maybe I'll put it up on the channel while I'm doing it. But like, I was thinking about taking some of the extra time that I have, what little there is, but and like taking NFL 2K5 and just like creating a whole bunch of just random guys and just doing a random draft and just kind of going through a season and kind of going through that, navigating and doing a franchise with that. Let me know if you guys are interested in anything like that. Let's see here. Tommy says WWE hadn't been good since like 2002. Yeah, I like in the early 2000s when I quit watching it, and it was really the AEW thing that kind of brought me back, and so I was kind of watching both there for a while, and I thought it was really cool what they were doing with The Fiend, and then they just, like I said, the Hell in a Cell ruined it for me, and then I've just been on AEW, and I really like AEW. I really like the product. It's been great. Let's see what else we got. XFL could sign Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston might not be too bad. Actually, if you remember, he was having a really good season up until, midway through the season. He started throwing interceptions and ended up with as many interceptions as he had touchdowns. But if it weren't for that, I mean, he was doing really well. I could see him coming back around and that, giving him some time. Apparently, P.J. Walker is expected to be with the Roughnecks next season. Interesting. Just Gavin. Let me know down in the comments section where you got that information from. I would love to. I'd love to see that. See where you got that from, because I could see. So, in Carolina right now, that's Matt Rule's team, and it looks like they're bringing in Teddy Bridgewater, and PJ Walker's kind of that same type of vein of a player. And I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Rule is his old coach. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him in and gave him like a 1-year deal or something, and brought him into training camp. But I would love to see if they've got him signed. That would be amazing. If they could get PJ Walker signed, Ta'amu, if they could get him signed, get some of these guys, Connor Cook, and just sign them up and have them signed. And it would be really cool if they could sign them for the next couple years to just, again, show that, listen, we're here and we are here to stay, and show the stability. That would be awesome. And to know that, so it's one thing to be a fan of a team, but it's another to be a fan of a team that every year it's going to change players. That's tough. And that's really hard to do. And it's really hard to be a fan like that. If you don't have your guys that you can root for, that are going to be there, year in and year out. I mean, college, you get a guy for at least 3 years, right? So, you can kind of build up that relationship with them. And, and if you don't have that consistency, it's really hard to really, put yourself into a team. So, and that's part of the stability too, is fans don't want to get invested if they know that, they're not going to have really anything to be invested in. So definitely. Okay. So it was really, really cold for Guardians games. I was at both home games. Not sure the turnout will ever be that great for games in February and March. That really is interesting. And it could be, something down the road that, that if the XFL does well, in some of these colder climate areas, you might end up seeing some type of a dome or something in the New York area. Syracuse plays in the Carrier Dome. Granted, that's in a little bit different location. I get that. But if the XFL gets, they get 10 years down the road in some of these areas, they might be able to get some of these cities to build stadiums and that with them. One of the things that we're not throwing around is Detroit is a very faithful football town. The Lions just really have never given them really anything. I mean, the front office staff, the owners, and that to really root for. But Detroit really gets around their people. I know the Toledo area has a lot of Detroit fans in it, both Tigers and Lions, and really Pistons too. So if they can get into Ford Field, I think the XFL would be great there, and that would be good, and that would be filling in kind of that, kind of Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, type of areas. I think that that would be good. And Indianapolis is another one. Indianapolis would definitely get that whole Midwest vibe and feel, and both of those are really, really close drives for people in Ohio. And I keep going back to Ohio, but listen, if you looked at all of the ratings, a lot of the higher markets for TV ratings for the XFL was Ohio markets, whether it be Columbus, whether it be Cleveland, Cincinnati. The Ohio represented watching the XFL. Ohio loves football, and Ohio's big in football. If you pay attention to college football, a lot of guys are from Ohio. A lot of those big time players are from Ohio. I mean, just shout out our boy Joe Burrow. And so yeah. Let's see here. What else we got? Atlanta in the East. Yeah, they'll definitely be in the East. There's definitely no doubt about that. Let's see here. Any chance we go beyond a 10-game season? They might take it out to 12. Listen, if they can make this to show that they can make money out of it, the sky's the limit for the XFL. And this is the difference between a guy like Vince McMahon and like somebody like Charlie Ebersol. Charlie Ebersol had an idea. He and Bill Polian, listen, it was really cool. It was a really neat idea. I really liked it from the start. But really what they were trying to do is really provide more of a service for the NFL and what they saw there, and really try to piggyback off things. And it wasn't necessarily trying to create their best in that way. It was, they found a market and a niche that they thought that they could get into. which is fine. And there's nothing wrong with what they were trying. And I think that they would have done okay. The issue is they had no backing, no money, and the NFL didn't want to throw any money at them. And if you look at the CBA is littered. This new CBA is littered with things that are meant to deter and to keep players out of the XFL. That wasn't necessarily probably the main reason why they did it, but that was probably a good factor in them, giving as much as they have with the players and giving the players a lot more. And again, competition, we know this from capitalism. When you have competition, it makes you work harder and it gets a better product. That's just the way it is. Listen, with 2K back in the game, Madden's going to have to step up. Regardless of its simulation or not, Madden has to step up because we've already seen, we've already seen the cracks. We've already seen, the holes in the armor, and that we're starting to see that with it. And so they're going to need to step up their game if they want to keep where they're at. And that's what it is. And no different here. The XFL has set themselves up to where this is where we are now, but we're not planning on staying here. And they have a plan to be around for forever. And it has nothing to do with where the NFL is, where the NFL's not, and you're never going to be the NFL, this or that. We are who we are, and we're going to continue moving up, and we're going to give and put out the best product that we can. And that's what they're doing. And that's why people liked it, and that's why they have a really nice following that they do. Regardless of what the national sports media people said about the XFL, people really enjoyed the XFL. It was fun football, and I can't wait for it next year. All right. Yes, Tommy, too cold. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Dalton, 13 games. I think that we'll get a whole bunch of things. Sorry, guys. I'm like going places, and all you guys are leaving all these comments, which is amazing, and thank you very much. For me to get to all of these tonight, looks like we might have to speed things up here. They should start XFL in late March. I don't know. I think that starting where they did is just fine. It gives them enough time and enough space right now. We'll see what happens. Jeremy, totally agree with you. I could see PJ Walker going to the Panthers. Nasty Nate, he needs to go to the New York Football Giants. I don't know. I don't think that that's really the style of football for him. Let's see here. Hey, from one Tyler to another. Glad to have you here. Let's see if we can get up over. So we've been over 30 guys watching, or guys and gals. You ladies out there, I know I've got some of you gals watching here, but let's see if we can get up over 40 tonight. We've got an hour to do it. All right, but Tyler says, do you think that maybe the XFL should stream on the WWE Network? So no matter the package, you have access to the games. You're at if you're a WWE fan, I feel like both sides would benefit. No, really, McMahon's really trying to keep it away from him. He wants it to be about football. He wants the stars. He wants the stars to be football players. He wants this to be legitimate football. He doesn't want anybody to say at the end of the day he got that way because of his wrestling following or this or that. At the end of the day, he wants it to stand on its own, which is good football. And he's put Oliver Luck in charge. If you notice, whenever anything it's Oliver Luck is the he's the head of it. He's the face of the league when it comes to the front office. Vince McMahon's not doing anything with it and adding anything WWE to it. Even though I love wrestling. I love watching professional wrestling. I have nothing against professional wrestling. But for those people who are not into professional wrestling, keeping it as far away from the WWE, especially with what happened with the XFL the first time around, that's what they have to do. So no. Let's see here. Breaker Outlaw 99. XFL Seattle Dragons need something to make themselves stronger and better. Not only that, also to crush the undefeated team. I think really Zorn just needed to open up that offense. And once he got B.J. Daniels in there and he felt comfortable with B.J. Daniels, they started, really opening up that thing. And listen, they gave him a run for their money. They had a shot there at the end. Now granted, they only had 2 seconds left that they, if they would have gotten one play, who knows what would have happened. But to play that team like they did, and that only being the second week that they've seen that dynamic as a team together, really, that was I think that was his first start. And so for him to be like that and for that team to do what they did with that was a very good Houston Roughnecks offense and defense. And so for them to do that was big deal. He's going to be a really nice starter for them. And if you follow him on Twitter too, like he's a super he seems like a pretty nice dude and a pretty cool guy. Let's see here. Trayson says, would you consider making a video with ideas written by someone else? Yeah, man. Shoot me shoot me anything. Shoot me an email. You can either do it to Tyler@bitasports.com, and that's just break in the action sports, or send it to mckinneyt033@gmail.com. And, I think that those are, if you look at my channel stuff, I think you can find those. Yeah, just send me what you've got there with it, and I will try to get to you. Like I said, Bascom, I owe you one, and, let's see here. Also, Truth, if you're watching, I owe you an email as well. But yeah, let's see here. Where am I at? And I apologize, guys. I am getting lost in the comments. And too, if you wanna do a super chat, you're more than welcome to. I will definitely get that up there and get that featured, because I am losing my track. Let's get over 100. To Jeremy, I love it. I would love that. That would be amazing. Right now we're at 26. Come on, guys. We get some more. Hey, Jeremy, thanks, man. What are your thoughts on enticing star players to stay by offering stock in teams they play for, saying like taking 20% of each team being player owned? That's not actually a bad idea. If you look at that, so if you look at like the NFL CBA, when they look at it, like they talked about how like the players were getting 47% and things of that nature. I could see that not being a bad idea. Now right now it's a private company. That's the only thing. So they're not really publicly traded right now. So it'll be interesting to see how that happened. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea at all. It would keep your players invested in it. I think that you're thinking smart there with it, man. And definitely thanks for obviously the $4.99. But yeah, as I'm looking at this, they're going to need to go public to do something like that. But I wouldn't put it past them if they can get a full season. I mean, and you get for a whole season, and if they would actually get the national media guys to show stuff, think about what kind of a an endorsement deal a guy like PJ Walker could get. Dude, that would be like legit. I mean, granted, it's not going to be like Michael Jordan stuff. I mean, or in LeBron James, but these guys, you'd be surprised and get some commercial deals and stuff like that. I really think that'll be cool. Roberto, hey Tyler, TV series, sitcoms, or movies? I don't know. Do you guys? I guess I can. So I'll kind of explain things to you. So I'm not a person that the only things that I rewatch are kind of comedies, and I usually don't do that by myself. And I usually watch those with other people. I do like movies. I like superhero movies. I was a huge Star Wars fan until the whole Last Jedi thing. They ruined it for me. The whole Jake Skywalker thing ruined it for me. So I kind of left Star Wars, and I used to get into Star Wars a whole bunch with that. But yeah, sitcoms, used to watch a lot of Parks and Rec, Office. I don't know. Are you wanting like commentary? Are you wanting like reviews of stuff? I mean, I guess I could do reviews on like Avenger movies or, the DC movies or something like that. I don't know. Kind of give me some suggestions, but I don't really watch a whole lot of TV. Like, this is sad. The stuff that I watch are AEW. I record that. I record the Curse of Oak Island, which is airing right now. So when we're done with this, I'll watch that before I go to bed. I'll probably watch that laying down, and then I'll go to sleep right after that. And those are really the two shows that I watch. And then it's kind of sports. And usually, so during baseball season, I just kind of keep up with baseball kind of stats wise. And then, I'll catch a game here or there, but I really don't watch games throughout it. I watch March Madness. I'll watch the NBA playoffs. I don't really not that I don't like hockey. I just don't really get into hockey. And then football season. Thankfully, my wife allows me on Saturdays when I just pretty much sit there and I watch college football the whole day. And then, Sundays are kind of a work day for me because I'm doing stuff at church, and then I kind of come home and then I watch football games kind of with like one eye open. You guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let me know what you think. Brady's asking $30 million. Yeah. We'll see. Tampa Bay can pay it. It's not a big deal. It's really, who wants it. Let's see here. Or pay someone like Cap the dollars he wants, but only with a Nike sponsorship. Keep up the great work. Yeah, the thing is like, Cap's not worth the money. He's probably going to do just as much harm as he is good, and you don't really need that type of publicity. And the guys that watched him throw, they said that he really doesn't have it anymore. That was the thing. Like, guys were coming out and saying that. Let's see here. Drew says, I hope a ton of college kids see that the only kid CB was killing it. Young talent is future of all sports. Oh, yeah. That's the truth. Everybody's getting older, unfortunately. It's crazy when they're talking about an old guy in the league and Josh Johnson and the dude's a few years younger than you. Like, that just, when you actually sit back and think about that, you start shaking your head and you're like, dude, what, like, one, where'd the time go? The second thing is you don't feel old. And then, the third thing is when you start talking about how, this guy needs to get his crap together and he needs to do this and that. And then you look at it, the guy's 24 years old and you're like, he's, in some instances, you're like, he's still a kid. And you're kind of like, well, I guess he's not. I could see a 24-year-old getting hot and, mad and stuff. So, yeah, obviously kids are the future. And maybe you have something else. I don't know what you mean by CB. You might have to, and I apologize if I totally missed that one. Those draft busts, those are people are going to come to the XFL. What about those hidden gems? Yeah, there will be some guys like that. That's the problem is I think that the media thinks that all the people going into the XFL are these busts, these draft busts and that. And I don't think that, Ta'amu and, PJ Walker, those are guys that just couldn't break rosters. It's like Joe Burrow. I'm sorry, but when you are behind the number 7 pick in the NFL draft, that just is what it is. And if you remember, they changed the total offense, and Joe Brady, hats off to him at LSU. All they needed to do at LSU is they've had the defense for years. They just needed to take that archaic offense and bring it up into this century, and and run an open style of offense and sling the ball around, and that's what you get. And it just so happened that Joe Burrow can do that, and he does that well, and he's going to make a name for himself with it. But yeah, that's just the thing. And So when you see this, you've got tons of talent that are sitting behind guys. And the NFL, you're going to have a lot of that. And the NFL sees that and they know that. They're just not coming out and saying it because they don't want the next team to come and get their commodity because they know they're one play from Brady breaking a leg. And that's the whole reason why. They're one play away from Patrick Mahomes out of the game. And you just go down the line. Lamar Jackson, that's why a lot of these teams won't even go after a quarterback that will run because they're so worried that they are going to run and they're going to get hit and hurt, and there goes their season. So a lot of them do that. And that's why a lot of the teams now, they're starting to come out of it and the game is changing. And I think with the XFL has changed football for forever. I'm telling you, when I'm going to sit down and watch football next year, even college ball, I'm going to feel like that this game is slow. It's just the reality of it because I'm used to watching all those XFL games. I watched every XFL game. And, so you had 4 games a week. Times 5. That's 20 games. So if you look at it this way, that's almost 2 full seasons of a team. That's 2 full seasons almost for a team. That's 20 games. And so, yeah, when I go back to watching it, it's going to feel slow. So it's interesting. See what we got. We got a lot of stuff going on here, guys. And I appreciate all of you. Hey, we got 32. Come on, guys. We need just 8 more people. Everybody out there's got to have a buddy, right? We definitely see guys in the XFL that were never offered a real shot. Exactly. And Jeremy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sean D, you're the man. Dude, Sean D, you're the man. Thanks for saying that. Thanks for being here. All right, here goes my terrible you're going to have to give me a little bit more, and I probably missed it. Let's see here. Since you're bad at pronouncing names, pronounce mine, dude. All right. So here we go. Thava Sanka. Thungfa Sanka. I don't know. I did terrible, but hopefully you enjoyed me botching your name, man. I apologize. I bet a lot of guys in college watched the Kenny Robinson exit interview. He is a perfect example for what we're going to see, and we are going to get more guys this year with that, and that's just the reality of it. The XFL has opened up this new world for these guys that want to get paid and don't want to be in college, which I totally agree. I totally get it, and it makes sense. And the other thing, dude, man, hey. Listen, if you try to give me a little bit of pronunciation on your name, I'll try again. But, dude, I've told you guys, I'm terrible. So just, if you don't mind, I apologize, and hopefully you can laugh it off. All right, let's see where are we at. AKM, Chef's Kingdom, glad to have you here, man. Don't worry, you're late. You still got some time left. We got some time to chat and have some fun. Your Battlehawks, dude, that's a tough way to leave the season, man. Your Battlehawks, dude, they were doing so great, and they just kind of had that letdown game, which was no big deal. They were going to come back, and they were going to make up for it the next week, but it's just like there wasn't a next week, and that kind of sucked that was the last taste in your guys' mouth. But listen, that probably just breeds, a new fire in their belly for next year. It was a 17-minute interview with Kenny Robinson, and he really talked up the XFL. I have not seen that. Where is that at? Let me know, Jeremy. Not only the XFL will need players, both college and former NFL players who are still good and young, but what about signing former CFL players? I think that they're going to continue to sign former CFL players. They did a few guys. I don't remember any of them really taking off. Like they were kind of like I think that we were thinking that Green was going to take off, but I don't know. Some guys were telling me that are big CFL fans that he kind of was he's on the downward side, so that might have been the case there. Let's see here. Walker or Ta'amu, who is XFL MVP? Walker. And LeBron or okay, I don't know. Let's see here. Tuva Sakana is how you do it. That's probably not how you do it, but I tried. PJ Walker definitely. See here. What college or NFL players could join the XFL in 2021? I don't know. A lot of these guys, we didn't know about them until they started playing. And, Ta'amu, he was a guy, if you go back and watch my videos, I was one of the very few people that said that the Battlehawks could be a good team. And I had them ranked a lot higher than a lot of other people, and I had the Vipers ranked a lot lower than a lot of other people. And I thought it really, their whole season, the Battlehawks hinged upon what Ta'amu did. And so I think he's fantastic talent, and he's going to get ate up in the NFL, no doubt about it. He's going to get, the NFL's going to pick him up, and he's probably going to get buried unless they can get him under contract. Not going to lie, since I watched PJ Walker, I've actually managed to study him, and now I throw 45-yard bombs as a 13-year-old. Okay, you're gonna have to tell me. Give me your secret to throwing a 45-yard bomb, and what you learned from him. I really would like to know that. That's kind of awesome, though, man. Congratulations for you. Hopefully, like that turns into something. I would, love to see that, dude. Just arrived. Hey, 38 cal, dude. No problem, man. Glad to have you here. Ta'amu balled out at Temple. He did, but then again, it was like college is so large. And there's so many different teams, and there are guys who are really good and talented on teams that we just never see or never hear. So that's why, like, when you ask a question like that, I'm like, I don't really know. I don't really know who's going to be, that next PJ Walker. Isn't that awesome, though, that we get to talk about who's going to be the next PJ Walker, who's going to be the next Ta'amu? That is really, really cool to me. The other thing is, like, Corndog came on, too, and both he and Ta'amu are rookies. Those guys are rookies. This is their first year out of college, so that's pretty cool to me. Dude, what's up? Let's see here. I don't know. I just copied him and it clicked. Dude, if it clicks, he is a guy to copy because it'll work legit. 10 more to go. Yes, guys, come on. I only need 11 now. Going the wrong way. Come on, guys. But yeah, dude, guys, this is fun. What do people think of the? What are you thinking of the new NFL CBA? Anybody been paying attention to that? Them guys need to stay and be the face of the XFL. I totally agree. And if they pay them money, I think that they will. And we really need to see what the XFL does. If they can get some money and some sponsorship money, and they can get some deals in some places, you'll see some guys staying, especially if they can pay them. Now, the one thing that's really interesting is that the CBA, the NFL is really, really like they're adding 2 more players to the practice squads, and they're upping the salary from $8,000 a week to I think it's 11,500. So they're up in the money because listen, they don't want to lose the guys. They wanted Josh Johnson in Detroit. They wanted him. They needed him on the squad when Stafford went down, and they didn't get him. And they don't want that to happen again. And like I said, each one of the teams are one hit away from their star quarterback being down, and so they need guys like that. And the XFL, I think that they can. I mean, PJ Walker, he's going to be a star. I mean, that's just the way it is. And by year 3, the XFL is going to be it is going to be a household commodity, and people in the sports world are going to be paying attention, especially those that aren't getting the watch time anymore, and people aren't paying attention to them anymore because they're not covering the XFL. They're going to start covering the XFL. That's my opinion, and I will say that's my humble opinion, but CBA really going to take away talent from the XFL. Totally agree with you on the machine. Would you choose Madden or 2K for next year? It depends. If 2K is going to be a 2K game, I would take 2K. The only thing about the 2K games that you really can't do is that the 2K games, because of how old they are, you can run spread offenses, but you can't really run any RPO stuff. So there's no RPO out there. You've got no RPO game. But outside of that, if I could get a 2K game and it be a legit football game, I would probably go 2K any day. Let's see here. What the NFL doing with the CBA? The XFL needs to set a standard, lock in the homegrown talent. Yeah, I agree, man. Lock them in, lock them down. Get those guys signed up. Make them stars. PJ Walker, we'll see what he would do in the NFL, but I don't know if he'll get the reins to do what he did in the XFL. And the other thing is they're not running the offenses like that. The NFL if you've been watching the NFL for any period of time, it takes for the college game to really make its way into the pro game. And, the pros, the way that the NFL is set up and the way that it is, it's designed in such a way to be kind of like, the old boys club. I mean, it really, really has. It's been kind of one of those things to where, excuse me, give me a second, guys. It's been one of those things to where they're all running the same kind of style offenses, and they kind of ran some of the guys out. Now, granted, I know they've had their shots and they didn't make it, but I can tell you now that the way that the XFL has set this up, these offenses look really, really well, and PJ Walker he fit really well right in that offense, and we'll see what he would do in some of these more open offenses. Granted, this the last, I would say, about 5 years, the NFL has been a lot more open to more open style offenses and these kind of more evolved offenses. But we'll see what happens. See here, my neighbor said, quote, XFL, really, you got to watch the real stuff. And then after I convinced them, they said the XFL thing is pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so you are totally right. Like the XFL, there's progression with people. So, I'll go and I'll say to people, here's a good example. We're sitting in, staff meeting over at the church, and we've got the office manager there. We've got one of our pastors there, and they know that I'm big. Football watcher, and I haven't really told him a whole lot about the channel or this or that. And he's our associate pastor. He's an older guy, and he looks over at me and he goes, "Hey, what do you think about that XFL?" And that's usually how it starts, because people, if they've seen it or they haven't seen it, they want to know, well, how is it? And what they're really asking you is this really football, or is this just kind of a jokey thing? And again, it goes back to kind of the whole part of it's the old XFL, and the other thing is that they know what football outside of the NFL has been in the past. And so when guys ask you that, they're really testing the waters, because that's kind of how it was. And then after guys started seeing it, they're like, "Yeah, did you watch that XFL?" And you're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Well, what'd you think?" And you're like, "It's not bad." And they're like, and then that opens up the door to where they can talk to you and tell you about how they like the XFL and how it was good, entertaining, exciting, and I'm not, listen, I know I'm an optimist. I'm always going to see the glass half full. It doesn't mean that I don't see flaws, but I see opportunity where most people don't, where most people will see things. I see where it's I don't know. I'm an optimistic realist. I see where things are, but I see where they can be, and I see where potential is, and I can see where we can go with it. And thankfully, I'm not Pinocchio, so my nose doesn't grow, and I can actually, feed people stuff, and sometimes it actually pans out. But with the XFL, listen, it's good football, guys. I'm not going to lie to you there. It has its issues. Yes, it needs more talent. It needs to bring in some more talented guys. And you only played 5 games. They were starting to figure things out, and we were starting to get the quarterbacks in the positions that they needed to be in. Guys like Luis Perez playing, BJ Daniels. Teams were figuring that out. And so it was really nice to see that transition. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish things out to see where it all would transpire. But, Corn Dog was another one. And down the line with that. So, the XFL, but it is kind of funny that you say that, because everybody that I've talked to has kind of done that same thing. It's kind of like getting in the pool. They kind of dip their toe in, make sure it's kind of okay, and then they kind of ease on in the water, and before you know it, they're doing cannonballs off the side and loving it. I mean, and that's how it's been with the XFL. I like that. What did he say? Oh, yeah. The Machine, do you think Oakland or Portland could be good places to expand besides Ohio? Yeah, hey, listen, I'm gonna be a big guy for Ohio. I think that Oakland could be a really good place though. Fun there. Let's see here. Ooh, hey Misty, glad to have you here. Hey, we're at 31. Come on, guys. Listen, we just need 9 more. My wife hates sports, loves the XFL. See, Jerry, my wife loves basketball. She loves sports. She's not one to really watch a whole lot, but she'll watch the Buckeyes with me. And then, she watched some XFL games with me too, which was kind of cool. But usually, yeah, I hate golf. So Roberto, it's kind of funny. I've been a sports guy my whole life, but the one thing I've never done, now granted I've putt-putted, but I have never actually gone out and played a round of golf. And I think it's just kind of one of those things to where now at at my age, I'm kind of like, that's kind of like something that I probably never will do, just for the fact that I've never done it. And I can say that I've never played golf. I don't know. People are silly, right? But yeah, so there's something on me. Just watch your friends instead. NFL, XFL. Let's see here. So one of the XFL games, I put it on in the TV, and my baby brother, who was all crazy seconds before, sat down and watched till the halftime, then crawled away. That's hilarious, man. Yeah, like even babies are loving this stuff. Let's see, Jeremy Atbreaker. I tried, but have a grip of kudos to, but somehow I got to watch the XFL FL. Yeah. Let's see here. 9 more to go. Come on, guys. I don't know. Just get some guys up there. Yetmester, glad to have you. Yeah. How about them boys, right? Yeah, Amari Cooper. They're going to keep him around. He played pretty decent, pretty well. And he's not a drama queen, so they'll definitely pay him and keep him around. The thing that people got to remember is that Jerry Jones loves to play the game. He loves to play the back and forth, loves to be in the media about stuff, he don't mind it. Whereas a lot of the other owners, they don't like all of their business being out there, all of their negotiations. Jerry Jones likes it, and he don't mind paying a guy, especially if he thinks he's good, so they'll pay him. I got to have a ton of free time to play golf, LOL. Yeah, golf is not a sport. I don't know, man. There's a lot of guys out there that would tell you different. And the other thing is I know a lot of guys out there have tried, and it's very difficult. So Amari almost left in free agency. Yeah, I don't know if he almost left. Like I said, you never know. Oh, and 10 more to go. Yeah, we dropped down one. Come on, guys. Let's see here. Oh, Tiger Texan Roughneck Superfan. Good to have you, man. I don't think this guy likes me because he don't want to answer my question. Just keep skipping over it. Dude, what question you got? hold on. Please, I want to know your thoughts on expanding the league into 4 other areas besides Ohio, obviously. LOL. Well, hold on. My my phone. Siri wants to send something for me. All right, dude, let's go here. Okay. Tiger texted Roughneck Superfan. Dude, man, the chat's going faster than I can keep up with, so I apologize. But here, expanding, you want 4 other areas, and why? Okay. You don't want Ohio. Michigan, because it's close to Ohio, I think Detroit would be a great area. They're playing inside. Detroit could definitely bring in the fans. I think that that's a good market there. Detroit would be 1. Indianapolis would be 2. I think that Lucas Oil Stadium is a really good area. Indianapolis is a strong city for sports. They like their teams, and people will travel to there for that. Let's see here. If I was going to do something down south, Atlanta's not actually a bad idea at all. Somewhere in there. I think. Where else? You could probably, out west, I would, you could probably get, I don't know. I think Chicago's not a bad area too. If they had, I don't know if Chicago has an indoor facility, but if Chicago did have an indoor facility, I think that would be good for them. I'm trying to think of some other areas here. Let's see here. It's kind of hard off the top of my head. Trying to think of an area. I think your Charlotte area is not a bad area at all. I don't know if they would go there though. Just kind of, like I said, a lot of it's me kind of thinking of really like big markets. I think Las Vegas actually might not be bad for them. I think that they were in training camp there for training camp, mini camp there to kind of show Las Vegas the game and how they did the game. I could see them though, using Vegas and doing that. I could see some of the markets, like the Tempe area, Arizona, opening up to them now that there's no AAF team, and it'll be a couple years past the AAF. So I could see something there. I don't think they're going to put another team in Texas. I don't think that that's going to happen. You do have Minnesota. I don't think that they're going to go there. If they would do that, that would be more in like the 16 or something like that. But those would be kind of more the markets. I think you're going to definitely see stuff around the Midwest, happening there. Like I said, though, Atlanta's pretty good. Miami would be another good one. Orlando would be good too. I could see both of those, being decent teams. Florida could handle 2 teams easily. Hopefully I got your question. Thanks for answering the question. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm here for. Come on. All right, Roberto, do you think that the XFL will have more football games when they come back for the new season? I think they'll keep it at 10. If they expand, they might do another 1 or 2. But until they really establish themselves as like a legit league with money deals, I don't think that they'll expand past 10 games. Dallas Cowboys will win the Super Bowl next year. I hope so. I'm not a huge fan of McCarthy. I don't know. Let me know what you think of McCarthy yet, Master. When the XFL 2021. I don't know. It's all up in the air. Who knows? Birmingham wants a team bad, and I don't think they're going to get a team. I think there's 2 things against Birmingham right now. Birmingham, 1, they didn't get a team because they didn't because of really the whole AAF thing. And then the second thing is that they're not a really large market or a large draw market where they can really bring in people outside of that. I don't know, that's just my thought. Now granted, they didn't do necessarily too bad in the AAF, but they definitely were no a San Antonio or anything like that. Portland Pumas, Delaware Dirt Devils, Sacramento Muskrats. Those aren't bad names. I like. I'm down with 10. XFL 20. Let's see here, 21. Yep. Birmingham. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do Pastor Jack. Glad to have you here. Thank God for Oliver Luck. Yeah, thank God for Oliver Luck and Vince McMahon for giving us football in the spring. All right. Do you think the XFL will have more football games when they come back? Trying to hit everybody, guys. Trying to hit everything. Portland, Delaware, Sacramento. Sacramento's not a bad area. I don't know about Portland. Portland's a decent area. I could definitely see the XFL getting into, some more of those, NBA markets. Definitely. Let's see here. Birmingham is building a smaller stadium. Yeah, I've been hearing that they have. Hate the Eagles, cry Eagles, cry. Yeah, I'm totally there with you. Not an Eagles fan at all. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. Birmingham might end up with the team again. I don't know. It'll be interesting. And again, you never know. We'll see. I'm really curious to see what the XFL comes out with here in the next few weeks and stuff. A lot of NFL stuff past couple days. Guys, leave me your comments what you think about possible things for upcoming content. I've mentioned if you guys would be interested in me, streaming some gameplay. I was thinking, getting back into the old school 2K5. Some guys had said, movie review type of stuff or commentary type of things. I'm definitely going to do the NFL, the CBA stuff, talk about Brady, try to do a video on Brady, try to do some of this stuff. That. Let me know what you think. I might try to do some comparison videos as well on some players. What's the most likely scenario for XFL 2020 season? Most likely is they're done, unfortunately. I would love to see them come back and play playoffs. My thought, what I would love them to do is right now, with the way that things are looking at, especially with the landscape of the with the landscape of the U.S., it's looking like stuff in the U.S. is probably going to go into the summer, with what we're dealing with right now. So I just don't see I see the XFL is done, but if the XFL does come back, what I would love to see is each one of the teams making the playoffs, and then the 1 and the 4 teams play each other, the 2 and the 3 teams play each other, and then the winners of that game play each other, and then the 2 winners from the East and from the West play each other for the championship. I'd like to see every team make the playoffs and just do an 8-team playoff single elimination. Pastor Jack, Tyler, tell us what your thoughts about the XFL for next year. What kind of upgrades do you think the XFL will be doing? I don't think they'll make any rule changes. I think that they're going to bring 2 new teams on. I think that these teams I think that they're going to go a little bit more I think that the coaching staffs that they tried to do this year was show established, guys who have a lot of experience coaching. I think that they're going to bring in some up-and-comers. I really do. And I think that they're going to snag some guys from the NFL that you're going to be surprised about. Guys that you're like, they got that dude. I think that they're going to pull some of those practice squad guys and I really think that they're going to do a decent thing. And you're going to start to see them picking off guys after the teams start to cut down their rosters. You watch and you see. How about DC Comics versus Marvel Comics? What do you mean exactly? Like, you want me to do like movies, like TV shows, like actual comics? Because I haven't read comics in years. Like since I was in high school years. Smitty Rock, I'm with you. What are you guys with? What do you think about the XFL Combine? I would love to see it. I think it would be cool. I'd love to see guys come and work out. I'd cover it. You know me. I love everything XFL. And of course, the XFL would do it in a fun way. The XFL just likes to have fun. And the NFL, for some reason, loves to be just grumpy old men that don't tell you anything and don't give you really any access. And when they do, they make you pay for it. Whereas with the XFL, they don't mind having fun. Now, they might charge you a little bit here and there, but yeah, they like to have fun, and I like to have fun too. Let's see here. I think we're going to get some new coaching next year for some new upcoming. Yes, we definitely are, Jeremy. Let's see. It's Patty's Day, so everyone with me. Let's tip back one for St. Patty. Mahone. Yeah. Go right ahead, guys. XFL need to change that spot the ball at the opponent's 45. That's cheap. No, I don't know. I'm not necessarily against it. I think it's a bit much like you. I agree with that. But I also too, it's kind of one of those things to where it really puts it on your kicker to have to kick it right. Right on. Bro, I gotta get to bed soon. Dalton, don't worry about it, man. I can't stay much longer. Can you please answer who you got for NBA and XFL MVP Walker? NBA, I haven't really watched a whole lot. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool that LeBron can keep going. But I don't know. I don't really think that he's necessarily I wouldn't give him the MVP. But then again, I really haven't watched a whole lot of NBA. Like I said, I usually get into it when it's the playoff time because I love watching them go back and forth in those 7-game series and see the adjustments that the team makes, from game to game to, compensate for the other team. So I don't know who else you had, but yeah, pick the other guy besides LeBron. Tyler, the CB I spoke of was the only college-age player in the XFL. More youth will come soon. Okay. So you were talking about Kenny Robinson. Yeah, definitely people are going to come. Tampa needs a new head coach. Yeah, I don't know. I think Trestman and them were figuring things out. I think Trestman's okay there. I think for Tampa fans, they definitely want a new guy. And they can maybe get somebody. We'll see what happens with them. Thank you, family. Hey, no problem. Have a good night, man. We'll catch you later. Misty Cat Animations. Will LeBron join the XFL? No. Though he could. He is big enough. I mean, the dude is a tank. XFL have to make a real steal next year somehow, some way. The Sports NFL Trash League, discussing. But I'm thrilled you love everything about the XFL and long live the XFL. Listen, I love the XFL. I think that they're doing a really good job. It's really interesting. And it's fun just to cover. The NFL, I like it. It's okay, but and it's something that I like too. I think it's cool. Yeah, I mean he's just like LeBron is. I mean, think about it. LeBron is bigger, bigger than Parham, and he probably is more athletic than Parham. I mean, if you think about that, that's just crazy. LeBron is not good, man. Age limit for rookie player, five players each team. Yeah, I don't know. He's slow. The guy, listen, the guy's been around for a long time. You gotta have to give him a break. He's 35 years old. He's 3 years older than Josh Johnson, who's the oldest guy in the league. When will the XFL players be signed in the NFL teams? I think so. The XFL came out and said if it's credible that they'll entertain offers for the NFL if the NFL wants to sign the XFL players before May 31st. If they do, it has to be a credible offer, whatever that means. I don't know, but it just means that the XFL has to approve it. And if the XFL approves it, then they can sign those players. If not, then they'll have to wait till after May 31st. So I would imagine the NFL will probably wait till after May 31st before they sign any of these guys. That's just the way that I see it. Way too many good NFL quarterbacks sitting on their couch with too much pride. It's it's so smart for a guy come over, make money, and possibly get an endorsement. Well, I will say this: when you can hold a clipboard, not get hit, and make $1 to $2 million a year, that you can't bat an eye at that, man. I would love to, I would love to be able to play, and I would love to do that. But if it were to make, let's just say $200,000 or to make $1 million, you're going to have to go with 5 times the money there, especially if you're thinking about your family. And that's the tough part about it. Hey, he's 8 years old, younger than Brady. Yeah. But he also, I don't know, it's different. Smitty, 33. Do you think the NFL will come back for their new season in the fall? Yeah, I think that probably we'll get sports back probably July, August, but the NBA I think is going to be done. We might not get Major League Baseball, or we might get some like shortened 30-game thing or something, but we might not get it at all. I mean, I really think that this thing's gonna get moving on out. Good point, T. If you do that, then you don't love the game of football. Let's see here. Where do you think the best cities for expansion relocation to be? I've kind of said these before. Somewhere in Ohio, Indianapolis, Detroit. I think that Chicago's good, and I think Atlanta's good. I think that those are good. Out west, I do kind of like Oakland. I think Las Vegas would be good. Out west, it's a little harder. Things are a little bit more spread out than, it's to where you do have these larger city pockets. And, I don't know. We'll see. And I don't know the West as much as I know, obviously, the East Coast. So, some guys were throwing out Sacramento. Anaheim might be another one. I mean, granted, that's the LA area. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the West that well, and I don't know California that well. Some guys said Portland. I don't know if I'd already mentioned that one. But the ones that I would say, dude, we got 36. We had 37. Come on, guys. 4 more. Come on. I know we can do it. How's everyone holding up? Dude, doing all right, Google. Are you doing all right, man? Hopefully you're doing okay. Let's see. Offer long-term incentive payout for players. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, getting back to the expansion, my areas I'd say are somewhere in Ohio. I think Columbus would be good. Columbus Crew Stadium. Detroit, Ford Field. Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, I think, are good. Chicago's a good area. I don't know if they have an indoor place that they could play. I don't know where I think they do have a MLS team, but maybe that might be outside. I think Atlanta's fine. Tennessee might not be a bad place to start to look for a team. But yeah, kind of those areas. I could see some of those. I hate this year. Everything is canceled. Sports, my vacation, my school year. Do you agree that this is a bad year, and why in your case? I don't know. Take it in stride, man. Like I said, I'm a half full kind of guy. I'm very optimistic, and I like to see things, and I am a realist, and I can look at things kind of critically, but I do it to get better. And so, I don't know. I think a lot of it's your mindset. If it's going to be bad, it will. And I'm kind of one of those guys that kind of subscribes to, you can, in this world, you can kind of, you can really, your attitude can kind of really make or break things for you. Listen, you're always going to find somebody out there who's better than you, who has it better than you, who got a better break than you. but if you look and actually get past looking at yourself, you're actually going to find that there are people who have it off worse than you. And so, sometimes it's just nice to just sit back and count your blessings, and look at it that way. So far it's been a pretty sucky year, but you know what? I've been pretty blessed, and so it's hard for me to complain about all the things, and especially meeting all you guys, hanging out with all you guys. And come on, we got 4 more. Come on, guys, let's get it going. We've got a few more minutes. Let's get it going. So hopefully, key is to go out and get fresh air and vitamin D. Don't let this drag you down. Get some of those God rays. Yeah, it's funny how the sunshine helps. It's funny. We were joking the other day. It's like, what's that bright? Why, that bright yellow thing that's out there, up there? What is that? Kind of a thing. But it's nice. It's nice when I can go out with the girls, and we can throw the softball around, and go play some basketball outside. It was nice to do that today. So, it has its advantages too. Columbus Crusaders versus Kansas Tornadoes. That's not bad. Kansas City's not bad. I don't know with it being so close to the St. Louis though. King flu has undergone cross mutilation, has infected a snake in Kung flu. I don't know what you mean there, Dalton. Sounds like a game to me. Vitamin D is the key. Yep. Dude, Orlando, Florida. Orlando's not a bad one. 5 more. Yeah, come on, guys. All right, so let's do this. We've got 2 minutes till 11. Well, where I'm at. Let's see here. My dad got sent home from his work for a month and has no pay, and the company canceled our family's health insurance, so now I can't do anything cool. My dad is busy all the time selling things. Dude, sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, it sucks right now, and your dad's probably one of those guys I was talking about earlier that this is kind of really hit a lot of people home, and so I'm really, really sorry for you, and I'll definitely be keeping your family in my prayers. All right, guys. Yeah, Drew, prayers to all. So let's do this. 3 more. You guys leave me 3 more questions, and then we'll get on out of here for tonight. And I appreciate all you guys. This has been pretty awesome. This has been fun. All right, Batman or Superman? Oh, you had to ask. All right, so here's the deal. My dad's a huge Superman fan. My brother is a huge Batman fan. And me, I kind of fall in the middle. I like DC. I'm more of a, before Hugh Jackman got a hold of him, Wolverine guy. And this is the thing I have about Hugh Jackman. If you know, Hugh Jackman is nowhere close to what Wolverine really is. Wolverine, if you looked in the comments, if you looked at it, he was 5'6" and 195 pounds. That's not Hugh Jackman. But I digress. You ask me, Batman or Superman, if I had to go by the movies and the stuff right now, I would probably go Superman, and I did love Smallville. Sorry, whatever you guys think of Smallville, I thought Tom Welling did a fantastic job. I would have loved to see him in the tights, but I guess with that show, the whole thing was no tights, no flights, and we never got that, and it would have been awesome to see that because I loved Smallville. So give me Superman. All right, next one. Yeah, I did hear that Kevin Durant tested positive. Let's see here. When the heck is your next stream? Wanna watch immediately. Dude, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Well, I've been doing Tuesdays. If you guys want to do more, maybe we can do another one. I don't know. Superman is arrogant, laugh out loud. Supergirl can Wonder Woman. I mean, I would say Wonder Woman. I really liked Gal Gadot. Yeah, man, I can't talk tonight. But yes, I really liked that movie. I don't know about the next one. I've seen the previews for the 1984 one. It's okay. Dude, Jeremy, have a good night with the Bible study with the kiddos. Have fun. God bless you and have a good night. All your content and have a good night. Yeah, you too, man. You guys have fun with that. Batman is a vigilante who should be thrown in jail. Gotcha. St. Louis? You got a lot of your St. Louis fans here. All right, guys, let's hit one more up. Tuesday's official day. Yeah. If you guys want me to do another, we can maybe figure out another live stream if you think that there's stuff that you guys want to do with that. But I'll be heading out then. See you. All right, man. All right, guys, let's go ahead and I'm going to do one more question. Obviously, the current best city. After this one, I'll do one more question. So leave me one more question, guys. Obviously, right now is St. Louis. It's just been fantastic. Dalton Ferris, watch it. Yeah, I mean, I love the back and forth, but just for what they did there in St. Louis and that city the way it did, that was pretty awesome. You have to give it up there. Only 34. Yeah. We did pretty good, guys. Did pretty good tonight. All right. Well, let's see here. I'll give a couple more minutes. Oakland on emergency lockdown. Oh, really? Yeah, I'll have to go check it out. This stuff's been coming like crazy. All this news each day. It's just been progressing, and it just seems to make my work day go longer and longer and longer each day. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, we'll hang on here for a couple more minutes, and if anybody has one more question, and if not, then when we hit 11:05, I'll get on out of here. Everybody can get on their evening. So, all righty. Well, I do appreciate everyone that's been on here, been watching for the whole time. It's been fun. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed it. Hopefully, we'll just continue. Hopefully, we get some more news coming out in the next couple of weeks about the XFL, get some more stuff with it. Alrighty, guys. Well, let's see here. You got about half a minute if you want to leave me one more question. And I apologize if I didn't get to everybody tonight. It's tough when you got everybody coming through this stuff, but Avengers or Justice League? If I had to say movies, the Avenger movies were better. Overall, with everything, yeah, I'm more of a Marvel fan, so I'll go Avengers. All right, guys, that was it. So you guys have a good night. I'm gonna head on out of here, and yeah, be good, and we'll see you guys here soon. All right, have a good night. Heading out here. All right, bye.